Good morning, everyone. My name is Supreet Singh. I don't call myself as an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. An engineer turned artist turned entrepreneur. Now turning back to becoming an artist. So I'll start with a small story a lot of people you'll relate to. Most of the times, the way we plan our life doesn't go that way. And a similar thing happened with me, and then I learned the power of turning points. As a child, I was a curious child. I always wanted to become something in life. I wanted to do something extra. Coming from a family with a middle class background, your father was doing a job, putting all his effort, your mother taking care of you while growing up. You just have that fire in you that you want to do something in life. But I never knew, or I didn't know what to do. So as all other good students of this country, I was aspiring to crack IIT, and which I couldn't. In the first year of my engineering, I was just cursing myself and trying to analyze what happened wrong. Why I couldn't clear IIT? In the second year, I reappeared for IIT and AIEEE as what we used to call back then. I didn't clear again. I was depressed, I was dejected. At the same time, I happened to read a book, The Power of Positive Thinking. And another book which changed my life was Karma Yoga. When the confidence starts to brew up again in your life, life takes another turning point. And that turning point was while I was in my engineering college. My father met with an accident. He had recently started a business. It was not even 2 years when he had started his enterprise. And he was on the bed. And he was on the bed for almost a year and a half. And I was in the second year of my engineering. But the great part was, at the same time, I started my journey as a performer, as an artist. And the best part is, I don't know how, but I was able to manage all. I never thought that I'll become a recognized artist. I became best performer, best dancer for 2 years in a row. At the same time, with the help of my sister and mother, we were taking care of the business. I was traveling because his business involved traveling across the state of Punjab back then. And we had a small go down on the second floor in a certain area which we would never call as posh. My mother and sister used to help me with late night dispatches and everything. And at the same time, I had to complete my engineering in time. But the great part I learned during that period, there can be hundreds and thousands of problems in your life, which can push you, pull you to the corner and ask you questions. You just need to stay positive. You just need to say yes to life. Most of the times what we do is we just don't say yes to life. While completing my engineering, I realized that I'm not meant to be an engineer. I'll do something else. I'll just finish the engineering in time, and I want to become an actor. Again enrolled, to go to Bombay, and I'd enrolled to an acting school. See, destiny had something else in mind again. So my father went through another surgery. I had to stay back. So I was continuing with the business he was doing. Another turning point. 6 months after I completed my engineering, I received permanent residency of Canada. And it was actually because my father had applied when he had started his business as a backup. It just came in time. I was so excited, finally I'll be able to do something on my own. Went to Canada, started a course in broadcasting and performing arts because broadcasting and performing both were very close to my heart and I just wanted to do it. I knew now what I want to do. I did that. But the grass on the other side always looks greener. I went there and honestly, I struggled. My father gave me $3,000 when he left back for India. And he told me, ask me whenever you want. I didn't ask. I got a student loan over there. I joined a diploma in broadcasting and performing arts in Vancouver, studied broadcasting for 10 months. Loads of struggle because there's a total difference in thought process between how we think and how the people in the West think. And broadcasting gives you a much wider space. So it was a cultural shock for me. Then after that, at the same time, I had to take care of my expenses and get some experience. So I was doing my internship as well at the same time. I was teaching dance on the weekends where I was much exploited as well. Teaching for 6 hours and getting paid for 4 hours. But I loved doing that, so I did that. So that was a time when I learned the power of money. When you work hard, you certainly get the results. I got a morning show, and it's a big thing to get a morning show. And when you're that young, getting a morning show is a big thing. I used to live around 2 hours away from the radio station where I was supposed to get my morning show and where I was supposed to start my gig. I missed one bus and I missed the show. I was fired. Then I learned the power of time, respecting time. I should have woken up 30 minutes earlier. But the great part is, the universe has been very kind to me that I never lose hope. I always see things are always going to be fine. After a month or so, I got another opportunity, and this time I was 30 minutes earlier. I used to read my first news segment at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, traveling 1.5 hours, where 15-minute time was just a job. Did that, started new segments in Hindi. I used to interview a lot of celebrities as well. In fact, I'll share an experience once. I had to, I was in my apartment. I got a call because I used to pitch in a lot of celebrities and their managers for interviews. I got a call that Kangana Ranaut is available right now. Would you like to take an interview? I said, yes. Give me an hour, I'll reach the studio. They told me you have to start in 10 minutes. I went into my cupboard because I knew that the sound will be a little better here. Recorded that. Did the same when I interviewed Sonu Sood. He's working in South movies quite a lot nowadays. So these kind of experiences taught me so much. But then another turning point came. I decided to come back to India. Told my father that I'm going to start a business. He told me I can support you, I can help you, but you have to do everything on your own. Came back, everybody was against me that you're doing so well. Why are you leaving permanent residency of Canada? You're about to become a citizen, going back to the country from where you came, and now you want to start something there, and that too in pharmaceuticals? Honestly, I was a rebel type, so I said, yes, I'll do it. Went there. Again, lost hope. Why? Because I was so frustrated with the way My father had a certain business set up. I was getting lost because I was just duplicating his efforts. I again decided to book back my ticket for Canada. But this time, something what my father told me pinched me hard. This time, if you leave, don't come back, don't waste your time and my time. I cancelled my ticket, started this company, Psychocare, with 17 products. My father was my angel investor. My mother was always my angel, with an investment of around 8 lakh rupees. Today, we have more than 1,300 products, pan-India presence. We are present in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana as well. This is one of my strongest markets. Worked so hard for 10 years, left everything. Left acting, left modeling. I used to do all these things. I'm also a recommended territorial army officer. Couldn't join that because of many other things. Just have put everything in what I could do over here. But you know, when we see somebody and somebody's success, it looks so glamorous, it looks so glorified. But the harder the journey, the better the result. So if I'm selling more than 1,300 products today, I have an office in Canada, I'm setting up an office in Dubai, trying to go international. It had a long process, but a super fast process, because I worked for 16 hours a day for almost 10 years. Not with compulsion, but with passion. I loved what I did. Then healthcare became my passion. Pharmaceuticals became my passion. In the journey, when I started, now I'll talk about failures as well. It's very important to talk about failures. The failure part was when I set up a manufacturing unit. I ran it for 8 years, closed it down. Because it wasn't a failure, that was the learning stepping stone for me. And then I realized what I want to do. So now I'm focusing only on brand building and building up a brand. And because of those 10 years, what I did, I restarted my journey as a podcaster. I've done more than 120 podcasts. It's been 2.5 years now. And I always wanted to become an actor. I started my journey as an actor about a year ago. I recently performed a theatrical play. It's called as the Out of Frame. And now I'm a theatre actor. So what I have learned so far is, life is easy. We just complicate it. Just enjoy the journey. And give your best in whatever situations you have. And always be positive. This is a motto which I follow from day one, and that is called as faith. F is futuristic, be futuristic. A, always have accountability for everything you do. I is integrity. Without integrity, you cannot grow. T is trust and transparency. H is honesty and hard work. Because there's no shortcut to success. So today, I feel I've just begun. And I feel I've learned the biggest thing, what we all must learn, that is loving yourself. I've started to learn my own self. And we all are unique, we all need to learn love our own selves, because nobody can love us more than we can ourselves. So I feel the next 10 years are of India, and we all are the future. Thank you.